Check it out, ladies. Isn't this a gorgeous card? And we made it in 10 minutes or less. And we're going to do the inside in the envelope. Join me in the craft room and I'll show you how. For today's 10-minute creation, I'm going to be using a new set in the Occasions catalog that you can get in January. If you do not have a demonstrator and would like to get a catalog, let me know and I'll send one your way. The stamp set I am using is called Incredible Like You, and I'm specifically using the So Glad We Are Friends set. I have a piece of Whisper White that actually measures 2 inches by 2.5, and this was cut for the size of my stamp. I made it a little bit bigger. I wanted to do a card to show you how you could use some of these larger sentiments on them. A layer for that is Blushing Bride that's 2 1/4 by 2 3/4. I have a piece, this is one of my favorite pieces out of this paper. Oh my God, I fell in love with this. This is from the, what's it called? This is from the Frosted Floral paper. And I chose this one with the flowers because I just love this paper. I also have a layer. Oh, this piece is 2.5 by 3.5. 2.5 by 3.5, and then the Blushing Bride piece behind it is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. I have a piece of Blackberry Bliss that's 4 by 5 1/4. My Whisper White card base is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have my envelope. I'm going to be using the Layered Leaves embossing folder. I'm going to be using some Blackberry Bliss ink and some of the beautiful Silver Edge ribbon. I love this ribbon. I have used it so much. I think I've gone through about 5 spools of it. It's one of my favorites. And it ties so nicely. I just love it. All right, first thing we need to do is we need to emboss our background piece. I've got my piece all embossed, and we're going to add this to our card base. And since it's embossed, I always use tear and tape because I want to make sure I get a good, it adheres really well. And if you look at this, there's valleys in here, and the valleys don't grab the cardstock because there's nothing there to grab. So when you use the tear and tape, it grabs that paper and holds it tight. So I use this all around the edges so that it's stuck down really good. I hate to send a card and hear from the recipient that it had fallen apart. So I make certain my cards stay together by adding some tear and tape on this. I know other people have used glue. Glue is good for some things, but for this, it needs to be the tear and tape. All right, now I put down my edges, and I'm going to take my pokey tool and take up my edges. Oh, not up far enough. That's the challenge here, is getting the backing off. So if you can get it started with a good piece. This one wasn't burnished real good. The whole thing came up. There we go. Yeah, burnish down your end real good so that it doesn't, the tape doesn't come off of your cardstock. All right, I've got that all off. And I'm going to take and I'm going to add my piece to my card base. I just love that embossing folder. So pretty. All right, next thing we need to do is we need to add this to our card or layer. I'm going to try the glue. Sometimes with the frosted it may not stick. I'll find out in a couple of days. Hopefully it will stick and not come apart. And then this is going to go on here like so, but again I'm going to use some tear-in tape so I make sure that it stays down really good. Since this one has peaks and valleys, I want to make sure it stays stuck down good. And you could use a glue dot, a dimensional on here if you want, but if it doesn't sit on there just right, it doesn't lay right, and I would much rather it lay right so that I know it's going to look nice when the recipient takes it out of the envelope. All right, again, burnish your ends. And I'm going to take off the backing. This is a great card and can be used with any colors or paper you have. I just happen to be using this because this paper is retiring and I will miss it. Oh my gosh, I have loved this paper. Now, when I put this down, I want to make sure that my flowers are going up and then I have it evenly spaced. Isn't that pretty? Oh my goodness. All right, time to stamp my sentiment. And I chose to use Blackberry Bliss as the ink rather than Blushing Bride to match because I wanted the sentiment to show up really good. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to stamp it a little higher. Let me make sure it's on here straight, up towards the top of this piece, because I'm going to add my ribbon at the bottom. And it's stuck. There we go. I need to re-ink my Blackberry Bliss. I don't have any re-inker. It's on my order to my list to order. So I'm going to take and add this now, and we are almost done, ladies. All right, and I love the glue that it gives you the opportunity to do a little wiggle room. So now I'm going to add my dimensionals, and I'm going to put 1/2 in each of the 4 corners. And then 1 in the middle. And now the fun begins. You get to watch me take the backs off. I hate doing that, but there we go. All right, now this is going to be centered in the card. Well, no. I'm going to center it side to side, but top to bottom, I want it more towards the bottom. Now it's time for our ribbon. And I'm going to tie a bow. And just so you know, make your loop. Your tail is in the back. Pull the tail over and around. Well, shoot. I'm trying to explain to you how to do it. Over and around, and then hold it in place. I take my other finger, I've got both thumbs on the front, but I take my other finger and push through the loop, the back piece, and then pull it. And then I don't pull it tight until I've gotten it adjusted. And I actually had longer tail than I needed. And then there's always 2 sides to your ribbon. And so what I do is I use the side that looks the best. If you use a smaller tail, you don't get any waste. I'm all about conserving as much as I can. And now I'm going to take a glue dot, and this is the side I'm going to use because it just looks nicer. And I'm going to put a glue dot on the left side and the right side of the knot. So there, and then that goes there. And there you go. Very cute and quick. And to do the inside and the envelope, I use the Jar of Love set. This stamp to me looks very close to this, close enough that you can fudge it. I hope you enjoyed my card today. If you liked my video, give me a thumbs up. Feel free to share it. Pull out your Designer Series paper and embossing folders. What can you come up with using one of your larger stamp sets? Have a great day.